Hi, this is Raymond Rose. Good Sunday morning to you. Thank you for joining me. Well, at least it's Sunday morning as I'm making this podcast. Hey, we're going to talk about the 4 easy steps involved in changing bad habits. It's not really that challenging once you have these items in place. And as long as you're looking at the 4 steps we're going to talk about, those 4 specific items, if you can look at those items every single day, I think you'll have a lot of success. Well, at least I've had a lot of success, and I'm just going to share with you exactly what I did. So this should be a really good podcast. It won't be long, but just a reminder before we start, this is a live podcast. There's no editing. There's no videos to watch. There's no videos that are going to distract you while you're driving. So let's talk about those 4 items. And I would suggest you write these down. We'll recap them at the end. Number one, you need to identify the habit you want to change. That means you have to be mindful as you're going through your day, figuring out the different things that you might want to change about yourself. Maybe they're large items, maybe they're just habits that have been formed over the years, and you're at a point in life where you want to make some changes. So think about what you want to do, and you got to be specific. You got to be really clear about the habit you want to change. And for me, I would suggest that it worked well for me. I wrote them down and I looked at them. So I made a list of different habits because there were a few habits that I wanted to change. Write down those items. And number two, you need to find and understand the trigger that sets those bad habits off. You need to identify the trigger. That is it a specific time of day? Is it a specific location? Is it a certain emotion that you're going through? Do you have junk food in your cabinet that, as soon as you open up the cabinet door, you start munching? Or are there issues that you've got maybe during that commute to work that maybe you get triggered? Figure out what those items are, number one. And then number two, as I just said, understand what the trigger is. Number three, you got to set a goal and create a plan. Hey, that means that you've got to go somewhere. In my opinion, you need to sit somewhere or figure out where your best thinking spots are. Mine are driving in the car and sitting at the lake, and put a plan together that you truly believe is going to work. And again, like I said moments ago, you got to be specific. You got to set a really clear goal of what you want to achieve by changing that habit. And it has to be measurable, achievable, relevant. And in my opinion, you need to set a deadline. Give yourself a time frame that you're going to be able to achieve this, and then work on it every single day by taking baby steps. Hey, let's take a real quick break before we go into step number 4. Let me remind you that I make podcasts every single day. They're very short podcasts, and there's 4 areas of my life that I focus on, and I think that they would be important to you too. I want to have excellent health. I want to have lots of free time. I want to be really smart about money, and I want really good habits in my life. And like I said, every day I make a short podcast regarding those 4 topics. If this is anything you think you might be interested in, I would ask you to consider subscribing to my podcast. Just hit the black button. You can listen to my podcast every day. There's no spam or junk mail. It's just going to go right into your YouTube channel. So let's recap where we are. Back to the habits. Number 1, identify the habit you want to change. Number 2, understand the trigger. Number 3, set a goal and create a plan. Number 4, just like I mentioned moments ago, you need to start small. Don't think that you're going to be able to change this habit overnight. Take baby steps. That works for me, and processes have shown that that's what works for most people. Start small, track your progress, and stay committed to it. That's the key. When you have little changes and you see that you're making that progress on a day-to-day basis, you're going to build momentum, you're going to build confidence, and then you're going to be able to track your progress and celebrate your success. And this is going to help you stay motivated and committed. I know there's a lot of habits that I've changed in my life, and I'll give you a podcast someday about all those things. The one that I'm still working on right now is trying to get off sugar. It's really, really challenging. I'm going to say that I'm about 75 to 80% of the where I want to be. My goal is I've recognized how, at least I believe, that sugar is bad for my body. And I'm doing my best to get off it. And I literally have a detailed plan. It's probably got about 15, 16 sentences that I read every single morning. And it's really helped me a lot. So that's what I wanted to talk about today, changing habits. Like I said, it takes time, it takes effort. Be patient, stay committed, remember the goal. It's okay to have a few setbacks as long as you just keep moving forward. And again, let me recap them. Number 1, identify the habit. Number 2, understand the trigger. Number 3, set a goal and create a plan. And then number 4, take baby steps and stay committed. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. I hope you got a little bit of information out of it. Before we go, 2 quick things. Number 1, please critique me. How did I do here? Was this information you wanted to hear? Was it too complicated? Was it simple enough? Was I able to serve you? So write your comments below. And number two, if you found the information in this podcast to be useful, please give me a thumbs up on the screen, share the button, send the message out to your friends. So that's it for today. This is Raymond Rose. Again, I appreciate your support. Thanks for listening. Hopefully we'll talk to you tomorrow.